Hey, what's up, guys? Suffolk Psycho Steve here again with your Week 11 recap. Here's what went down in Week 11. First off, I'd just like to say we have 2 more weeks left to go in the regular season. And I'm still awaiting payment from Fire Goodell, We Are WW Slaves, and Travis the Tree Trunk. So please pay your league fee. Everyone else has paid already. With business being said, our first matchup comes down to Suffolk Psycho Steve versus Travis the Tree Trunk. Suffolk Psycho Steve coming in at 4-6, and Travis the Tree Trunk coming in at 4-5-1, with both teams desperately looking for a win to keep their playoffs hopes alive. Travis the Tree Trunk with Antonio fucking Brown put up a big 40 burger with 10 receptions for 144 yards and 3 touchdowns for 42 points. Orleans Darkwa with 74 rushing yards and 16 points. Larry not fitzing around Fitzgerald with 9 receptions for 91 yards and a touchdown for 24 points. 12 points for Doug Baldwin and a big 22 points for Latavius Murray. Suffolk Psycho Steve had Carson Wentz, the possible league MVP, put up 168 yards passing and 2 touchdowns for 19 points. Jerick McKinnon with 10 points. Austin Eckler with 13 points. Mike Evans with 14. Steven Gostkowski with a 63-yard field goal, scoring 20 points. Suffolk Psycho Steve's highest scoring player for Week 11. This gave way to Travis the Tree Trunk beating Suffolk Psycho Steve 153-125. Suffolk Psycho Steve, besides his quarterback, had no touchdowns on his entire team, which led to Travis the Tree Trunk having 9 receptions. That's a total 9 touchdowns, totaling 54 points, which was the major difference in this week's matchup. Travis the Tree Trunk improves to 5-5-1 on the year, keeping his playoff hopes alive, and with a mere chance for Suffolk Psycho Steve to make the playoffs going into Week 12, he falls to 4-7 on the year. In our next matchup, we had the high-flying Cleats and Cleavage versus the unpredictable Give Her the Woodhead. This was a Bass and Company showdown. And when I say Bass, I mean a badass matchup. For Cleats and Cleavage, we had Russell Wilson with a big 30 burger, 258 yards passing, 3 total touchdowns, and 1 interception. Todd Gurley, 13 points. And Alvin Kamara with 25 points. Demaryius Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins both putting up 17 points. Robert Woods with 8 receptions and 81 yards for 16 points. Melvin Gordon, 14 points. And Chris Boswell, 4 out of 4 for field goals and 4 out of 4 for extra points, putting up 19 points. This was going to be a big performance for Give Her the Woodhead to overcome, with Levon Miller putting up 18 points. Le'Veon Bell with 18 points. Alshon Jeffrey with 18 points. Jarvis Landry, 19 points. And just what he needed, Kenny Stills with a big 30 burger, 7 receptions for 180 yards and a touchdown, 30 points. And Jimmy the Graham Cracker Graham does it again, 20 points, with 7 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown. This was enough because Cleats and Cleavage had the Los Angeles Rams defense on the bench with -5 points, and she played them over her Cincinnati defense with 10 points on the bench. This was the difference, with Give Her the Woodhead pulling out a huge win, 158-157, beating what we thought was the immortal Cleats and Cleavage. Give Her the Woodhead improves to 7-3-1 on the year, and Cleats and Cleavage falls to 8-3. In our next matchup, we had L.I. Golden Taint versus Team Pagan, son-in-law versus mother-in-law. And we all know, if you want to stay good, in the family. You gotta let the mother-in-law win in this matchup. We had L.I. Golden Tate coming in at 6-4, and Team Pagan coming in at 4-6. Team Pagan had Matthew Stafford pass for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns with 17 points. Duke Johnson Jr., 16 points. A weak performance by the rest of her team, giving way to L.I. Golden Tate with Derek Carr with 13 points. Danny Amendola was 8 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown with 20 points. Cooper, 2 girls and 1 cup, 10 points. And Travis Kelce, he has a girl's name for his last name, was 16 points. This gave way to L.I. Golden Tate taking the... Wait a minute. Team Pagan had the Los Angeles Chargers defense score 24 fucking points with 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a fumble recovery for 24 points, giving her enough points to beat L.I. Golden Tate this week. Team Pagan coming out on top, 98-95, another close matchup. Team Pagan improving their record to 5-6, and L.I. Golden Tate falling to 6-5 on the year, possibly working his way out of the playoff picture. In our next matchup, we had the Bohemia Bombers versus We Are WW Slaves. Both teams desperately looking for a win. Bohemia Bombers had Leonard Fournette with a 13-point performance. Deshaun Jackson with 2 receptions for 28 yards and a touchdown for 10 points. Michael Crabtree, 6 receptions and 51 yards for 13 points. And their Baltimore defense with 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and shutting out the Green Bay Packers for 23 points. Give her the Woodhead head Jay Ajayi, looking like Philadelphia's #1 running back, but we're not quite sure about that yet. And Amir Abdullah, both scoring 11 points each. Mohamed Sanu with 3 receptions, 34 points, and a touchdown for 12. Devontae Adams, 8 receptions, 126 yards for 20 points. Marvin Jones Jr., 4 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown for 18 points. But you had Brandon Coleman with 1 point, A.J. Derby with 0 points, and Mason Crosby with 0 points. This truly was the difference for this weak performance out of these 3 players in this matchup, giving way to Bohemia Bombers beating We Are WW Slaves 107-94. Bohemia Bombers improves their record to 4-7, and We Are WW Slaves falls to 1-10 on the year. In our next matchup, we had sister-in-law in a do-si-do, where sisters-in-law in a matchup, a do-si-do, where it stops, nobody will know. It was Team Capaldo's big win streak going up against Team Mary with her first win last week. Team Mary has the second most points for in the league with 1,455, only trailing the high-powered Cleats and Cleavage. The next, but she has the most points against with 1,616. The second highest points against total belongs to the Bohemia Bombers with 1,402 points against. A big gap of 214 points against. Team Mary has just been getting unlucky this year. But Team Mary had a huge performance out of Mark Ingram with 24 points. Dion Lewis with 18 points. AJ Green, 15. Delaney Walker, 15. Jacksonville defense coming up strong again. The best defense in the league fantasy-wise with 27 points. A touchdown, 2 picks, 3 fumble recoveries, and only 7 points against. And Tom Brady, old man Tom Brady, does it again with 25 points, 339 passing, and 3 touchdowns. Team Capaldo had LaShawn Shady McCoy with 25 points, 114 rushing yards, and 2 total touchdowns. Samajay Perrine, 18 points. Who else do we got here? I don't know why I can't read. Be somebody. Somebody on Team Capallo's team scored 26 points with 6 receptions, 149 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know who that was. She had Keenan and Kel Allen with a big 30 burger. 39 points, 12 receptions, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Wallace with 15 points, and Drew Brees with 385 passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick for 21 points, as Team Capallo puts up her biggest performance of the year, breezing past Team Mary 185 to 143. Team Capallo improving to 8-3 on the year, and Team Mary falling again, unfortunately for her. Just another team putting up their best performance of the year. Team Mary falls to 1-8-2. In our last matchup, we had the heavy-hitting Team Lemp versus the heavy-hitting Fire Goodell. Fire Goodell desperately needed this win. He's not looking too well against teams that can perform mediocrely, if that's even a word. Fire Goodell had a huge game at a Dak pedestrian Prescott with -2 points. Isaiah Crowell, big game, 1 point. Derrick Henry, monster game, 3 points. Kelvin Benjamin, 3 points. Corey Davis, 5 points. And Rob the Glassjaw Gronkowski, 6 points. And that's a bell going off because Fire Goodell just got schooled in this matchup versus Team Limp with Big Ben Roethlisberger putting up 28 points, 299 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Jordan Howard, 125 yards rushing, a touchdown, and 18 points. Des Bryant, 14 points with 8 receptions and 63 yards. Adam Thielen, he's feeling it with 3 straight 20-plus point performances with 6 receptions, 123 yards, and a touchdown for 24 points. With giving way to Team Lamp, smacking Fire Goodell around, 132 to 73. Team Lamp improves to 8-3 on the year, and Fire Goodell falls to 7-4. With Week 12 coming up, we have 2 more weeks left in the league. With Team Lemp, Give Her the Woodhead, Cleats and Cleavage, Team Capallo, Fire Goodell, and L.I. Golden Taint holding down the top 6 playoff spots, with the only teams left mathematically that have a chance to make it in being the Bohemia Bombers, Suffolk Psycho Steve. That's a long shot for both those teams. Travis the Tree Trunk and Team Pagan have the best chance to sneak in to the playoffs with 2 weeks left to go. We'll see what happens coming into Week 12 and Week 13. Best of luck to everybody in Week 12. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I'll have you know every time it's a Tuesday and it's sunny, I usually win. So whoever I'm playing, I feel bad for you. Best of luck to you guys. See you next week.